Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland.
By the powers conferred on me as the Secretary of the Honorable Body of Benchers, I call the House to order and welcome the Chairman and Honorable Benchers to this unique occasion of the July 2026 Call to Bar ceremony. May I also take the opportunity to felicitate with parents, guardians, well-wishers, and friends of the applicants here present and those viewing the live coverage of this Call to Bar ceremony. May I now, with the leave of the Chairman of the Body of Benchers, call on the Chairman of the Council of Legal Education to step forward to report on the state of readiness of the applicants for call. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Benchers' leave is hereby granted as prayed.
Mr. Chairman, sir, the students of the Nigerian Law School who have successfully completed their training and passed the bar final examination conducted by the Council of Legal Education are ready for presentation to the Body of Benchers for call to the bar. May I respectfully, Mr. Chairman, seek leave to call on the Director General of the Nigerian Law School, Dr. Olugbemi Shola Titilayo Odushote, to present the report and to summon the applicant for call to appear before the Honorable Benchers.
Benchers' leave is hereby granted as prayed.
As the Chairman pleases.
The Chairman of the Body of Benchers, His Royal Majesty Albert Akpomuje, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Fellow Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, Eyawe Alaka Dioworode of Olomu, Life Bencher, the Chairman of the Body of Benchers, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Kudirat Kekere Okun, GCON Life Bencher, the immediate past Chairman of the Body of Benchers, Honorable Justice Olukayode Ariwoola, GCON, Retired Chief Justice of Nigeria, Life Bencher, the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Olasunkanmi Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Life Bencher, past Chairman of the Body of Benchers, the Chairman of the Council of Legal Education, Chief Emeka Ngige, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, OFR, DSSR, Life Bencher, distinguished and honorable members of the Body of Benchers, honorable justices and grand caddies here present, the President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mazi Afam Osigwe, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Life Bencher, members of the Inner and Outer Bar, distinguished senators and honorable members of the Federal House of Representatives, executive governors here present, our royal fathers, my predecessor, Professor Isa Ayatu Chiroma, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Life Bencher, and with the permission of the chairman, my husband, Dr. Lasunde Odushote, proud parents, guardians, and relations, ladies and gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with a profound sense of honor and privilege that I welcome you all to this solemn and historic ceremony for the formal admission of successful candidates into the Nigerian bar following their performance at the December 2025 bar final examinations. This occasion stands as a monumental milestone for an institution, and it is uniquely historic for two distinct reasons. Number one, the conduct of this event marks my maiden call to bar ceremony since assuming office following my appointment as the 10th Director General of the Nigerian Law School by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. And secondly, and more symbolically, this ceremony represents a historic shift, as it is the very first call to the bar in the long history of our institution to be conducted under the stewardship of a female Director General. For these significant milestones, I express my deepest gratitude to the Almighty God for His boundless benevolence. And as I lead this great institution forward, I trust in His wisdom, inspiration, and strength to build upon the selfless and enduring labors of my distinguished predecessors, ensuring that the legacy of excellence at the Nigerian Law School is systematically elevated. Sustainable growth and development at the Nigerian Law School. The Legal Education Act of 1962 established the Council of Legal Education to provide vocational training for law graduates aspiring for call to the Nigerian bar. The Nigerian Law School, which is the training arm of the Council of Legal Education, is a multi-campus institution with headquarters in Abuja. The Nigerian Law School has sustained its enviable growth and development for over 6 decades as the pace-setter vocational training institution on the African continent, not just by training students from sister countries such as Cameroon, Gambia, Ghana, Sierra Leone, among others. We have also granted mentoring resources to desirous law schools across Africa from time to time. Nationally, the Nigerian Law School has continued to creditably discharge its statutory duty of training all persons seeking to become legal practitioners in Nigeria. Apart from single-handedly training the personnel for an entire arm of government, and that is the judiciary, made up of all judges of the various courts in Nigeria, including the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the Nigerian Law School has also contributed significantly to meeting the manpower needs of the executive and legislative arms of government in Nigeria. It is also a salutary tribute to the school, recognizing that the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, all states' attorneys general and commissioners for justice and law officers serving in their chambers are also products of the Nigerian Law School. From its humble beginning in 1963 with just 8 students at its one-block campus at 2138 Igboshere Road, Lagos, the Nigerian Law School has grown to a 7-campus institution spread across the country with campuses in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, Enugu, Yola, Yenagoa, and Port Harcourt, and with a current intake of 7,785 students. This is an eloquent testimony to the healthy astronomical growth, not just of the Nigerian Law School as an institution, but also the legal profession in Nigeria. In over 60 years of its existence, the school has had uninterrupted academic sessions, as there has never been any incident of a closure of the institution on account of student unrest, strike action by staff, or for any other reason. This is a rare quality in academic institutions in Nigeria today, and therefore deserves commendation, reward, and emulation by other institutions of higher learning. Our institution also has zero tolerance for cultism and other menace bedeviling higher institutions in Nigeria today. The secret for this remarkable feat is the insistence of the Council of Legal Education on good character of students as a condition for both admission into the Nigerian Law School and recommendation for call to the bar by your august body. Products of the school have commanding presence in all spheres of human endeavors, locally and internationally, such as the armed and paramilitary forces, captains of industries, international corporations, the oil and gas, banking and finance, insurance sectors, as well as the corporate world in general. Professors and lecturers in the universities and local tertiary institutions and across the globe also make this distinguished list. Pitched against the foregoing illustrious attainments of the Nigerian Law School in its 64 years of existence, the recent clamor for the scrapping of the Nigerian Law School is not only misplaced, but very unfortunate. Institutional appeal, compliance with admission quota. Distinguished guests, colleagues, and stakeholders, the issue of oversubscription in our law faculties has become an almost intractable challenge, notwithstanding the strenuous efforts of my predecessors. Even though some faculties and colleges of law are currently serving moratoriums imposed by the Council of Legal Education, many universities continue to flagrantly violate our approved admission quotas. Mr. Chairman, sir, permit me to reiterate the unalterable position of the Council of Legal Education on this sore issue. The days of shielding or managing non-compliant institutions are firmly over. Moving forward, the Council of Legal Education will adopt a zero-tolerance policy to abuse of guidelines stipulated by the Council. A situation where a faculty accredited to train 100 students deliberately admits, trains, and graduates over 400 students is a classic recipe for the administrative and operational chaos we now experience regarding admissions into the Nigerian Law School. This reckless oversubscription creates an artificial backlog of aspirants that strains their resources to a breaking point. Most unfairly, it inflicts a severe toll on the dedicated staff of the Nigerian Law School, who are forced to run grueling back-to-back lecture cycles and double streams just to clear the human backlog created by these non-compliant universities. This administrative overreach exhausts our human capital and threatens the high standards of professional legal training. I wish to state explicitly that with the unflinching financial commitment of the federal government, alongside the benevolence of our alumni sets, philanthropists, and corporate bodies, the Nigerian Law School, under the supervision of the Council of Legal Education, possesses the full capacity to absorb all law graduates legitimately trained by accredited institutions, provided they operate strictly within their approved limits. Our multi-campus system must never be misconstrued as a limitless reservoir designed to accommodate flagrant regulatory abuse. Furthermore, parents and guardians must remain deeply circumspect regarding the accreditation status and quotas of the universities where they send their children and wards to study law. Ignorance of the law remains no excuse. Infrastructural renewal and interventions. At this juncture, Mr. Chairman and distinguished members of the Board of Benchers, I wish to place on record our profound appreciation for the immense support of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, towards the comprehensive overhaul and expansion of the training facilities at the Nigerian Law School. This administration's unprecedented intervention stands as a historic milestone in the development of our institution. In the same vein, I wish to gratefully acknowledge the recent critical interventions and contributions of stakeholders to the Nigerian Law School. The list is long and time wouldn't permit me to mention everybody, but I would like to acknowledge the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Chief Nyesom Wike Life Venture, who on Monday commissioned 10 units of 4 bedrooms bungalow at the headquarters and also handed over to us the certificate of occupancy of the Abuja campus, and we didn't have to pay anything. In addition, we've had contributions from Nigerian Law School class of 1975, 76, and 80, amongst others. We also have individual contributions, especially from, I'd like to acknowledge the family of late Mr. H.A. Ladner, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. They donated his library to the Lagos campus. Further intervention. At the risk of appearing insatiable in our request, we must confront the reality that the immense cost of providing cutting-edge, world-class legal education engineered to make our products globally competitive in the modern marketplace can never be borne by the federal government alone. The institutional demands of running a world-class professional training system are vast and continuous. It is on this note that I extend a passionate and earnest appeal to public-spirited individuals, corporate organizations, and esteemed alumni of the various sets and campuses of the Nigerian Law School to urgently partner with us in this noble cause. We have curated a comprehensive, prioritized list of our institutional needs, spanning technological upgrades, library resource expansion, and infrastructural development. The Office of the Director General stands fully prepared to make this list available for your kind consideration and immediate intervention. Together, let us invest in preserving the golden standard of the Nigerian bar. Vision for the future, the Arise mandate. Mr. Chairman, distinguished benchers, while we look to the generosity of our partners and stakeholders to bridge our immediate physical gaps, we do not view the future of the Nigerian Law School through the lens of dependency. Rather, our requests are anchored on a clear, transformative vision, a dream engineered to fundamentally uplift this institution and redefine the face of legal education in our nation. This dream, which we are actively integrating into the core mission and vision of the Nigerian Law School, is structurally captured in our Arise mandate. A represents academic excellence, R represents research and development, I is for infrastructural rebirth, S is for sustainability and capacity building through stakeholders' participation, and E is for enhanced technology and digitalization. Put succinctly, the Nigerian Law School under my watch is unyielding in its focus to groom a 21st century lawyer, one who is deeply imbibed with the timeless ethos of excellence in learning and character, possesses a penchant for cutting-edge legal research, and holds the unique capacity to seamlessly connect the wig and gown with developmental governance. Our goal is to raise these professionals within an environment that is truly conducive to the emergence of leaders in the global legal marketplace. Leaders who are prepared to ethically leverage technology and artificial intelligence for advanced learning and service delivery. No doubt this mandate appears daunting, but I am firmly persuaded that it is attainable. To this end, my colleagues across the academic, administrative, and technical units of the Nigerian Law School have passionately committed themselves to its total realization. This commitment was recently solidified during our intense academic and administrative capacity building management retreats held in February and March of this year. I can confidently assure you, Mr. Chairman, that through the cascading of this mandate by our dedicated staff across all campuses, we are already witnessing a profound reawakening of our student populace to the true vision and mission of the Nigerian Law School. Presentation of the December 2025 bar final examination results. Mr. Chairman, distinguished members of the Board of Benchers, I now have the singular honor and privilege of presenting at this call to bar ceremony a total of 610 candidates who successfully navigated the rigors of the December 2025 bar final examinations. I am exceedingly pleased to report on the commendable performance recorded by these candidates, the details of which are highlighted in the general performance summary below. A total of 7,601 sat for the exam. 212 out of this number made first class. 1,216 are graduating with second class upper division. 2,958 are graduating with second class lower division. 1,618 are graduating with a pass. The total number is 6,003, although at this call, 6,000 will be called. And then we have 2 candidates from previous bar final examination, that is the backlog session. And then we have 7 candidates from previous calls. Mr. Chairman, as I present the successful aspirants for admission into a noble profession, I wish to firmly assure everyone present that the Nigerian Law School, under the strict supervision of the Council of Legal Education, shall remain the ever-vigilant gatekeepers of our revered, ancient, and noble profession. As teachers, mentors, and administrators, we pledge to continually uphold the uncompromised standards, ethics, and enduring integrity of the Nigerian bar. To the new wigs, to the candidates standing on the threshold of history today, I offer you my most sincere congratulations. I also warmly felicitate with your proud parents, guardians, and relations whose sacrifices and unwavering support have made them vital parts of this memorable and auspicious occasion. No doubt, today is a day of profound joy for you all, marking the realization of your long-held dreams of joining the ranks of the noble profession of law. As you step forward, I commit you all into the hands of the Almighty God and the word of His grace. I pray that you may enjoy a remarkably rewarding and distinguished career at the bar. I enjoin you all, like Caesar's wife, to remain perpetually above suspicion and above board in your character. Seek excellence in all your endeavors and let your practice be driven by the advancement of the public good. Learn to delay gratification and imbibe the timeless values of godliness with contentment. I assure you that if you do, this profession will reward you beyond measure. Let the rules of professional conduct for legal practitioners become your companion from this day forward and daily adhere to its norms and ethics. I wish you the absolute best as you forge your path into the future. A sincere appreciation, may I at this time respectfully seek the leave of Mr. Chairman and the distinguished members of the Board of Benchers to express our profound gratitude to our supervisory ministry, the Federal Ministry of Justice, led by the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Olasunkami Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Life Bencher, as well as the Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Minister of Justice, Mrs. Beatrice Jedi Agba, MNI. We are deeply grateful for the institutional support and administrative guidance consistently extended to the Nigerian Law School. Your actions are a clear demonstration of a firm belief in a functional, world-class legal education for Nigeria. I would also like to appreciate the Council of Legal Education, chaired by Chief Emeka Ngige, Senior Advocate of Nigeria and Life Bencher. We'll also like to appreciate the chairman and distinguished members of the Secretariat of the Board of Benchers for their constant support, seamless cooperation, and enduring encouragement, which have remained vital to the fulfillment of our statutory mandate. Finally, I must specifically commend the uncommon dedication and excellent work ethics of both the academic and non-academic staff of the Nigerian Law School. These men and women work tirelessly and most times far beyond the call of duty, to ensure that the vital task of producing the legal manpower needs of our nation is successfully and qualitatively attained. Esteemed Chairman of the Body of Benchers, and distinguished members of the body, I now have the distinct honor to present to you the candidates here assembled for call to the Nigerian Bar. They desire to and are fully eligible to become members of the learned and noble profession of law. They have successfully completed the rigorous vocational training at the Nigerian Law School as prescribed by the Legal Education Act of 1962. They have all undertaken the prescribed professional examinations, completed the traditional dining terms, and satisfied all other institutional conditions set by the Council of Legal Education. I am extremely happy to affirm that these candidates exhibited the highest levels of decorum, discipline, and good manners throughout their training. They have been thoroughly groomed in the finest ethics, traditions, and ethos of our noble profession. Together with the academic and non-academic faculties of the Nigerian Law School, we have closely monitored these aspirants during their residency, and I confidently vouch for each of them as men and women of learning and character as demanded by your august body. The screening committee of your distinguished body has carefully perused the academic and disciplinary records of each aspirant and found them worthy to be presented for call to the Nigerian Bar. I hereby attest without reservation that they are fit and proper persons for call and admission to the Nigerian Bar. Mr. Chairman, may I respectfully and on my honor present to the distinguished body of benchers the following candidates, the following 1,499 candidates, being part of the total list of qualified candidates for call to the bar at this historic ceremony. Thank you for your kind attention, and may God bless the Nigerian Bar.
By the powers conferred on the body of benchers by Section 3, Subsection 1 of the Legal Practitioners Act, and by the powers conferred on me as chairman of the body of benchers by Regulation 16 of the Body of Benchers Regulation 1983, I hereby admit each and every one of the 1,499 applicants herein present, severally to the bar as barristers and solicitors of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. You may now put on your wigs. To show your loyalty to the body of benchers, may you bow to the body of benchers.
Can we have some silence, please? All guests seated at the gallery, can you be seated, please? Ensure that your phones are on silent mode. This is a very solemn occasion. You are informed not to clap, yet you violated that. The marshals may be sent to do the needful, so we appeal to you to cooperate with us for the purpose of this occasion. Remain silent, please. Mr. Chairman, sir, may I respectfully invite you to deliver your address and your charge to the new weeks.
My dear learned friends, you may now resume your seats. The Vice Chairman, Body of Benchers, Honorable Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, GCON Chief Justice of Nigeria. The immediate past chairman of the Body of Benchers, Honorable Justice Olukayode Ariwola, GCON. Past chairman of the Body of Benchers here present, the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice, please permit me to adopt the protocol list as presented by the Director General of the Nigerian Law School. It is with great pleasure and absolute reverence to Almighty that I welcome you all to the call to the Nigerian Bar ceremony of the student of the Nigerian Law School who successfully completed the 2025 bifinal examination. This is a statutory duty conferred by law on the Body of Benchers of Nigeria by virtue of Section 3, subsection 1 of the Legal Practitioners Act. First, let me congratulate the new wigs who are being called to the bar today. Your journey to today's call to bar ceremony started in earnest when you decided very rightly to choose to read law after your secondary school education, consequent upon which you gained admission into the respective faculties of law of your universities and eventual admission to the Nigerian Law School. It may have taken some of you a minimum of about 10 years, less the number of years you spent in your primary school, making a total of 16 years you may have labored in all the educational institutions aforementioned to reach this enviable height you are today by being called to the Nigerian Bar. Secondly, let me also congratulate the proud parents and guardians who labored hard to see you through your studies in school. On behalf of the Body of Benchers, I wish to appreciate all parents and guardians for making sure your children or wards belong to the honorable profession of law by the sacrifices you made financially and otherwise to make them what they are today. You can from now on enjoy the fruits of your hard labor on them. And I pray that by His grace, your labor cannot and will never be in vain. No doubt, the first phase of your life as new wigs in your journey to be a member of the legal profession, you have reached the top of the ladder, and this deserves celebration. However, after this euphoria of celebration, particularly seeing yourselves in the mirror with a beautiful professional outfit, only reserved for those who are learned that you are today, you will soon find out that you are at the bottom of the ladder, from where phase 2 of your career as a lawyer will begin after being called to the Nigerian Bar. It is for this reason that we address you new wigs. However, with hard work, tenacity, grit, and most importantly, God's grace and guidance, you will ascend to the pinnacle of the profession, which is my favorite prayer for all of you. We often observe some new wicks with no previous experience in legal practice after being called to start up their own practice or open shops as referred to in legal street parlance, with themselves as a legal practitioner piloting themselves in practice with no previous experience or gaining any tutelage or experience under a senior lawyer. This is a common trait, particularly with some of you who are senior citizens above 60 years of age, relying on your biological age and work experience through connection in other fields to venture into legal practice without being under a principal. For this reason, it is my advice, which past chairmen of this body have always done consistently in previous addresses to new wicks, as I am doing now, is to advise new wicks on the imperative need to begin your practice under a senior with considerable years of practice to learn the rudiments of practice of law. It is not an advice, but something which I employ every new week to comply with, in a bid to have a solid foundation in legal practice. You will soon find out that your brilliant academic performance and qualification may not be the only basis of success in practice in the courtroom. Another recommendation which I will give to you is to seek the guidance of a mentor in the profession who will act as a guardian in your journey into the tedious but rewarding legal practice. Worried by the increasing number of persons being called to the bar annually, with the last count of about 10,000 lawyers last year, including the low standard notice of some junior lawyers in court, the body of benchers, as part of its statutory duties and responsibilities to regulate the legal profession in Nigeria, took the bull by the horn to set up a mentoring committee of the body of benchers with a program to have mentors for new wicks who care to avail themselves of the unique opportunity to attach themselves as mentees to senior lawyers for guidance in their legal practice. The program, I must confess, is still work in progress, but the body of benchers is hopeful that the program will crystallize to perfection in a short while. I implore all of you being called today to take part in the mentorship program of the body of benchers. You also have similar programs at the national level of the Nigerian Bar Association and some branches. Increasing number of persons called to the bar annually and the need to have control by the body of benchers. I, at this stage, want to adopt what the Director General said in her speech concerning universities admitting over their quota as ascribed to them. I adopt what she has said. I will only add that the body of benchers wishes to clarify a misconception and notify the general public and Nigerians that the body of benchers will not deliberately deny qualified students admission to the law school and thereafter call them to the Nigerian bar. The problem, as highlighted earlier, is that of some of the universities that admit over the quota allocated to them, and some universities not yet accredited, producing law graduates even before applying to be so accredited. Furthermore, every professional body is regulated with respect to the number of those to be admitted into the profession in any given year and time, based on the need by the society. For the legal profession, the body of benchers and the Council of Legal Education are guided by the need for legal services in the country, which form the basis of the quota allocated to university, including the facilities on ground and the ability of the Faculty of Law to produce law students of the highest standard to be called to the bar by the body of benchers. The body of benchers cannot afford to produce lawyers when there are not enough jobs to accommodate them, hence the need to regulate and put a benchmark on those to be called in any given year. This will also take care of situations where members of the bar, after call, with no office, start for briefs at the magistrate court, waiting at the police station to grab overnight briefs of those arrested and charged to court, which has earned the embarrassing name of what we popularly known as charge and bail lawyers. As the regulatory body, we must ensure that members of the profession do not bring themselves low to this level. Worried by the above, the body of benchers has set up a committee to advise on the number of aspirants to be called to the bar in any given year. Since the problem usually emanates from some of the universities, there is a need now to keep record of law students admitted in any given year by the universities, which will be monitored strictly to ensure that the universities do not exceed their quota of admission. After all these measures have been put in place, and any university still exceeds the prescribed quota, it will not be out of place to wear the big stick or hammer by way of sanctions by any university that willfully flouts or refuses to keep within the prescribed quota. The body may be compelled to direct that such universities be deaccredited from producing law graduates for call to the bar, either permanently or suspension for a number of years. Just like the Director General said, students and parents, please beware. Issue of indiscipline after being called to the bar. The beauty of the legal profession is that it has its professional ethics, which regulate the conduct of its members. By law, the discipline of erring lawyers is the responsibility of the body of benchers, which the body exercises control through the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee as stipulated under the Legal Practitioners Act. On the other hand, the responsibility to discipline judges who, together with the bar, make up the legal profession falls within the jurisdiction of the National Judicial Council, as provided under the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. One of the courses offered at the Nigerian Law School is professional ethics, which the law school takes very seriously. Having passed that exam in professional ethics, it is believed that this is the beginning. While carrying out your professional duties anywhere, in any capacity, you must remember or recall all you learned under the subject, professional ethics, to guide you on what type of conduct amounts to professional misconduct, which in summary is any conduct unbecoming of a lawyer. One thing you must avoid and pray not to experience is being dragged before the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee. It is therefore my advice to you to keep within the acceptable standard of ethical conduct in legal practice. You must not cut corners with get-rich syndrome. Your position today as lawyers will put you in a place of trust between you and your clients. It is akin to a situation where if it was humanly possible for a person to detach and give for safekeeping the most important part of his body and entrust it to anybody, that person is a lawyer whom you are today. This is the standard and expectation of the public and members of the profession which we demand of you. The body of benchers is now very proactive to deal speedily with dispatch matters of professional misconduct against erring members of the bar. This is the reason in the past 2 years, We have established the IT Center for the Disciplinary Committee, where proceedings can be recorded electronically and via Zoom to minimize the time spent in dealing with disciplinary matters. Also, the body of benchers is building 2 court halls within this complex, which when completed will help the LPDC sit in panels in different courtrooms at the same time, all aimed at making sure that disciplinary matters are heard speedily. Our aim in all this development as a body is to ensure that we shaft out anyone willfully tarnishing the image of this most noble profession. It is my wish and prayer that none of you will be dragged by anyone to the LPDC in your practice as legal practitioners. Finally, on this, I must not fail to mention that even before some of you were called today, you have shown some unethical behavior by sending out invitation card on Facebook and other social media platforms, fully dressed as lawyers without first being called to the bar. It is an offense to put on the lawyer's robe without being called to the bar. Those involved, which we have evidence against, may face disciplinary committee after being called, because until you are called, we cannot discipline you. And we have directed that your call certificates be withheld by the Nigerian Law School pending the decision by the body on what action to be taken. This should serve as a deterrent to law students to desist from such acts before they are called to the bar, as the same is an offense under the Legal Practitioners Act. And we also advise the law school must henceforth emphasize this to their students during the course of their training. Another issue I want to mention, which is very common with new wigs, is the use of the word barrister as a title. This is very wrong and unprofessional. A lawyer can address himself with his name, but not barrister before his name. It is only in this country that we see so many practitioners use barristers as title before the name of a lawyer. The word barrister as a title has become very common practice among political colleagues, and who would want everybody to know they are lawyers, even though not in active practice, by introducing themselves with the title barrister before their name. While we know that Nigerians like title to the extent that even when you are a vulcanizer, you want to say vulcanizer X, Taylor Y, the legal profession cannot afford to be part of this bandwagon of title seekers by using the word barristers before our names as a title. I must note also that despite admonition from successive Chief Justices of Nigeria at our bar conferences, the practice is still on. I therefore urge on you, all of you new wigs, to desist from using the word as a title. This also applies to old lawyers and members of the public who are indulging in this crack practice. People will know you as a lawyer by your competence, comportment, hard work, diligence, not by intimidation of adding barrister as an appellation or title to your name. New wigs, please take note. As new wigs being called to the bar today, you are like a golden fish which has no hiding place. Going forward, organizations and bodies that you may already belong will have more respect for you because you are a lawyer, and greater responsibilities will be assigned to you unlike before. As young lawyers, the sky is your starting point in the profession. This, however, is subject to only hard work, maintenance of the highest form of ethical behavior, integrity in your person, and as a privileged member of the noble profession. The quest to be wealthy is a sprint, but an unending marathon. Be patient. It is a natural benefit and reward to those who work hard and keep their integrity, as well as give respect and regard to the ethics of the profession. One thing you must imbibe while in practice is to show absolute respect to the bench. Even when the court has delivered a judgment against you, resist the urge to be rude or condescending. Always accord the court the respect it is deserving by bowing to the court by saying, as the court pleases, even when the judgment does not favor you. In recent times, we see lawyers addressing the press after court proceedings with their wigs on their head. Please note that this is unprofessional. More worrisome is when lawyers begin to malign a judge in making comments on his judgments at press briefing. This is a conduct most unbecoming of a lawyer, as we often see on television these days. No matter how provoked or triggered you are, please do not exchange words with the bench. The option is always open to you, my new wigs, to test any judgment on appeal if not satisfied, but not the court of public opinion and press briefing. Before I conclude, I wish to congratulate the call set of 1971 who made 55 years call to bar on the 18th of June this year. Some of them are here. My Lord Honorable Justice Mahmoud Mohammed, GCON, Life Bencher, and former Chief Justice of Nigeria, and former Chairman of this body. Honorable Justice Umar Weri, CON, Life Bencher, pioneer Chief Judge of Kogi State. I also wish to congratulate the class set of 1976 who celebrated their Golden Jubilee anniversary of call to the bar on the 4th of July this year. Amongst them, you have our past president, Wole Olanipekun SN, Fatima Kwaku, and His Excellency, the wife of our former president, Abdul Salam. I wish also to congratulate members of my class set of 1981 who will be celebrating their 45 years anniversary call to the bar on the 11th of July, 2026. This call set to which I belong has broken records in the history of the legal profession in Nigeria by producing 3 Chief Justices of Nigeria in quick succession with Honorable Justice Dr. Tanko Muhammad, GCON, the immediate past chairman of this body, and the present CJN, who is the vice chairman of this body. Apart from this, there are so many other senior advocates produced by this body, by this set of class of 1981. I have deliberately rolled out some names in the 1981 class set, and to let the new wigs know and be challenged that with focus and hard work, you all are potential justices of the Supreme Court, as well as the Court of Appeal and High Courts, magistrates, presidents of customary courts, For those who will remain at the bar, most of you will become senior advocates of Nigeria and heads of important organizations that may need your services. Within some years to come, 10 to 15 years, you are eligible to be appointed into any position within the profession, like Senior Advocate of Nigeria after 10 years, a judge after 10 years, and a member of the body of benchers after 15 years post-call. You must be confident that one day you will become the leaders of this profession. Having called you to the bar today as chairman of this distinguished body, I have special interest in your progress as members of the profession. Consequently, my eyes are on you, and I pray that you will do as much, and if possible, better than my class set of 1981. Conclusion. In conclusion, on behalf of the body of benchers, I welcome you all, my new weeks, learned friends, and to wish you and your proud parents success in your wise decision to belong to this one and only learned profession of law on earth, and also probably in heaven, which will be determined when we get there. Finally, I pray you will use this great opportunity, having been called to the bar today, that you will make the profession better than you met it, for the overall good, interest, benefit of the profession and humanity. I request all new weeks to please stand to take the pledge. You will repeat after me. I pledge to commit myself as a legal practitioner to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, and obey the rules of professional conduct in the legal profession. So help me God. My charge to you, you may now go forth in your new weeks from this day forward to serve Nigeria and serve humanity in justice without fear or favor, affection, or ill will. I thank you all for your audience. I pray God in his infinite mercies will bless all of us and grant us safe journey to our respective destinations. Thank you and God bless.
By the order of the body of benchers, I now declare this call to bar ceremony closed. All the new weeks are required to collect their call to bar and qualifying certificates before leaving this hall. The order of recess after the national anthem shall be as follows: the chairman and members of the body of benchers first, followed by the professional and academic staff of the Nigerian Law School, invited guests, while the new weeks will file out last. God bless you all. Shall we rise for the national anthem, please?
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all and proud to serve our song.